Hey, welcome to the Jungle Cruise. This is the second ride I've ever built. The other one was my Phantom of the Opera ride. But I'll go ahead and show you this one. I made this for last year's Women's Month, which was March. I made this for the March Women's event. And it has gone through some changes due to complaints, but I'll tell you why. At the time, women were getting picked on. So I was like, women need to be pampered. So if this is Women's Month, I'm going to pamper the women. So the ride used to be, there were 6 men that carried a rug with pillows on it, and the women sit on the rug, and the men carried you through the ride. But then a lot of people didn't like that. And then I had men that were fanning you. And by the way, they were all shirtless. So that seemed to be an issue as well. And I had a couple people over here just drinking. And I had all these cakes and everything. And a big sign that said Women's Month. Well, certain people didn't like the men, so I had to get rid of the men. But then I heard men come in and say they liked it, so, I mean, when you build worlds, you're not going to be able to make everybody happy. Do what's good for you, and what you want, and if people like it, that's fine. If they don't like it, they don't have to visit. And so that's the kind of thoughts I have for future worlds. Do what's good for you. And I'm going to reset the world so we can get the new cars. Okay. So, instead of the men, I now have the jungle Jeep looking vehicles. I think there's 2 or 3 of them. This ride is still on the old script system, which doesn't really work as good as I would like. So essentially, you will get on the ride, it'll wait for you and your friends, and then we'll take off. When I made this, I was just learning about percent, how to get your percentage low with capacities and everything, and I realized the trees take up the majority of the capacity, which is why there's not a lot of animals. But the animals I do have are monkeys hanging from the trees, and once you get around here, I have a really bad looking crocodile, alligator, and then I have the hippos. And there's a trigger that will let it swim. And then when you get to about here, it blows water up at you. And then of course I have more monkeys. I have a little hut with a fire. And birds. And some caves. It's very, very relaxing ride. Since things are changing with percents and they're letting us have more stuff now, I am working on some gorillas and other animals to add to this to make the ride more fun and less boring, so to say. So I do have ideas for this ride. So this world is the relaxing jungle cruise.